following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 to Hallway, trying to go 3 wide, no one's
Tiller
with him.
talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14, it's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it?
Walker Thomas. Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
Welcome race fans to Primetime Racing TV and tonight's coverage of the Cyber Racing Association. We're in the Fast 15 and it's the Eliminator race here at the Talladega Super Speedway. In the booth tonight is myself, Corey Silva, along with Evan Black to bring you tonight's action. Evan, we're in the Fast 15 and 4 drivers will be knocked out of championship contention after tonight's race.
Yeah, there's going to be 11 drivers moving on to the next round. I'll go ahead and give you the top 8 here in points real quick. Paul Servant is currently leading by 5 points over Daniel Hallway. Daniel Jackson's in 3rd, Michael Coe's in 4th, Rick Seabrant's in 5th, Marty Ray's in 6th, Justin Levine in 7th, and then Tom Labar in 8th.
All right, and then rounding out the drivers in the playoff contention is 9th place Chris Brown, 10th place Bobby Tinch, and 11th place David Anderson. Those drivers are tentatively locked in at the moment. At the moment, they're not locked in officially, but they're in. 12th place Gary Champion, 13th place Artie Peterson, 14th place Matthew Walzenbeck, and Jimmy Coleman rounding out the top 15. All those drivers on the outside looking in, but they are still eligible.
Yeah, Jimmy Coleman's going to have some work to do because I don't believe he raced last week.
He is 28 points behind the bubble, and there are a maximum of 58 points in a race to give out. So we will see if he is able to kind of come from behind there, but we'll find that out the hard way.
I know he does have a good car. He's been running pretty good most of the races.
Yes, he is.
So he'll have a shot at it.
Yes, he will. His qualifying is wrapping up in less than a minute. I think there's still a couple drivers on track turning laps. We can see Seth Schultz here in the number 103. He is a new driver to the league from what I remember. From what I don't remember, probably a better way to word that. He qualified in the 4th spot on his qualifying run, and then we see David Anderson, of course, a regular on the front of these packs. What do you know, at the buzzer, he sneaks in what should be the pole.
Yeah, David Anderson to the top of the charts. He has been probably the best in qualifying every single race.
Yeah,
him and Ray Rittenauer have both been the fastest in qualifying.
Yeah, it's almost kind of a running gag that you might as well just qualify 3rd because they will be the ones on the pole. But speaking of the pole of the race, let's get to you, the PTR TV starting lineup here from the Cyber Racing Association Fast 15 elimination race at Talladega. That was most certainly a mouthful for me to say. On tonight's pole is David Anderson with his lap of 52.131. Outside pole is Christopher Gale. Inside of row number 2, you will find Matt Quick and then Paul Servant in position number 4. 5th is Seth Schultz, and 6th is Jonathan Grissup. Then rounding out your top 10, Mark Vega, Pondo Co, Chris Brown, and Artie Peterson.
Bobby Tinge starting in 11th, Marty Ray to his outside. Tom Barr in 13th, Taylor Meeks in 14th, Mark Johnson in 15th, and then rounding out the top 20 is Daniel Holloway, Jared Hager, Justin Levine, Rick Seabrands, and Mike Major round out the top 20.
And rounding out the field is Art Peck in 21st, Daniel Jackson 22nd, Caleb Thompson, PJ O'Leary, Jimmy Coleman, and in 26th position, if that's a familiar name for you, Brandon Krutz in the field here tonight. And to denote in the ticker, drivers who do have an asterisk next to their name are in the Fast 15. So you can keep track of them, as I said, by the asterisk after their name, but that is the grid tonight, and we'll wrap up weather conditions for you at Talladega. It is 72 in the air, 77 on the track, 7-mile-an-hour wind out of the southwest today, so a little bit more than usual, and of course there is overcast conditions here tonight.
Yeah, pretty cool track compared to what we usually see here at Talladega. So I wonder if that will make it where the bottom is going to be the place to be, or if people will be able to move up.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that, Evan, what your thoughts were on it. We usually see Talladega as kind of the open track where you can go 2, 3, 4 wide a lot more comfortably, but if the inside is going to be more preferred because, well, there's even extra grip out there, is that going to maybe take away from the racing at all? We will find that out in 60 laps of competition here at Talladega. Again, for the Cyber Racing Association Fast 15 elimination race, 4 drivers will be sent out of the championship contention after tonight's race. If you're new to the Cyber Racing Association, we have 60 lap races. We have a stage on lap number 25, and we do have built-in green-white checker capabilities if that need does come about at the end of the race. And we have seen it a couple times, and it definitely does add to the strategy and add to the excitement.
It's always nice when the leagues do that. This is the first one I've seen that does do that, but hopefully we'll be able to get that here in iRacing soon where we can have normal ones.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a headache in the administrative world for them to calculate it, but they do it for their drivers, they do it for the league, and heck, they do it for us too. It really makes a good show from all aspects, so if that comes into play, it'll be an interesting variable, but we are on the back straightaway here, getting ready for the green flag, and a regular on the front row, David Anderson, will get this race underway. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here to PTR TV tonight. If you haven't liked and subbed, you like the content, please show us that you do with the like and subscribe, if I could manage to put words together in proper English, which, as you know, on this channel is a little bit difficult sometimes. But we head into turn number 3 behind the iRacing.com pace car, and we will see who indeed will be the ones to carry over into the Elite 11.
You're struggling a little bit there.
Yes, I am. It's a Monday blues.
That's why you're struggling?
Yes.
It's Monday? Okay.
Everybody is allowed to have their follies on Monday. That is just the nature of the day. But a couple wild card drivers up front, and I say that only because we are not used to seeing them, so we'll see how they interact with the other drivers and what they're capable of doing. Christopher Gale up front. We have Seth Schultz up front as the pace car comes off of turn number 4. We're going through the tri-oval, and then we will have the extended wait to get this race underway.
Pace car on pit road now. Coming through the Talladega Superspeedway Tri-Oval. Still waiting for the green flag. And there it is. We're underway here at Talladega.
Everyone gets up to speed very cleanly. We're underway at Talladega. David Anderson is still leading the pack on the inside groove as we enter turn number 1, and he will clear for the lead.
Anderson is clear. He has no help, but on the outside lane, the 25 of Gale and the 3 of Servant are bumper to bumper. So they should get a pretty good run out of tune down the backstretch.
Exactly that is happening. Evan off turn number 2. Christopher Gale with the push from Paul Servant. Paul Servant also always up here in every single one of these races to the outside. But it looks like that inside with the 103 of Seth Schultz is giving Anderson the push, and they will meet on the inside, side by side for the lead.
Gale has a little bit of advantage through turns 3 and 4, but the 44 of Anderson is gaining on him through the center, now off the corner. 3 cars on the outside, only 2 on the bottom, now getting help from the 16.
Mark Vega has joined the outside lane along with a whole bunch of other drivers. Jonathan Grissom, Chris Brown. Looks like more people are gravitating towards the top of the racetrack, and at the stripe this time by for lap number 1, we'll give it to Christopher Gale.
Christopher Gale by just about 200ths of a second going into turn 3. He was just about, or turn 1, he was just about clear. Now coming out of turn number 2, they're going to be dead even.
As I like to say, pace lap formation here on lap number 2 as we head down the Alabama Gang super stretch here at Talladega Superspeedway. Nobody pulling out a line to go 3 wide yet. Everyone does stay 2 by 2, and Chris Gale drops to the inside.
And the 3 of Paul Servant leading that outside lane with help from the 14 of Mark Vega. Then about a car length or so back to the next car in the line, which I believe is the 92 of Grissom.
Surprisingly, at least from my end, it looks like more people are gravitating toward the top of the track, which with the cloudy conditions does kind of surprise me. But just as I say that, the inside kind of prevails, and the 25 and the 44 look to have cleared the outside groove for the moment.
Yeah, Anderson is just about clear. He's not quite yet. 3 of Servant getting a pretty good run.
As we navigate through turns number 1 and 2, the first 2 drivers are clear, or at least the 25 is right now. Servant is getting a little bit of a run down the back straightaway with the push from Mark Vega in the 14. Pulls alongside David Anderson. I don't think they'll get to the 25 this time by.
Going into turn 3, the 25 still has the advantage. The 3 is starting to drop back off through the center. 44 of Anderson, not quite clear, trying to get up in front of Servant through 3 and 4.
Not sure if he was washing up there or trying to block the momentum and get to the top groove, but either way, it did not work in time. Servant is alongside of him in the 14. The outside has kind of lost its steam a little bit as we have Artie Peterson trying to go 3 wide to the top groove.
Anderson's clear. Will he move up in front of Servant? Not yet. We'll see if he does out of number 2 if he gets a run.
At this point, it looks like the outside is kind of stalling out at the 3rd car. They're really having trouble. They might get to Anderson.
Anderson's going up there.
Here he comes, trying to get the run, pull side by side to the top, get the lead. And if they can pull in this position, the outside groove usually does have the advantage on corner exit. As we enter turn number 3, Anderson looks like he may clear. He does, drops to the bottom.
Once again, 3 of Paul Servant leading that outside lane, still with help from the 14 of Vega.
Off of turn number 4, the 44 is in a very familiar position at the front of the pack. But Paul Servant, also a very good driver up front of these races. He knows how to make that outside groove work, and here he comes with a surge.
3 Paul Servant is right on the door number of the 44 of Anderson, dropping back once again through 1 and 2. The 44 is clear. I don't think he'll do any blocking yet. 25 washing up the track a little bit through the center.
Surprising to see these drivers washing up the track, maybe having a little bit of issues, not used to the cloudy conditions. I'm not sure what that is, but it does look like as the run progresses, more people are gravitating towards the bottom of the track now, and outside not getting the help it did have before.
The inside lane definitely has the car advantage, as now they're not even up to the right record on the 44 of Anderson yet. They're falling back to the 25.
Yeah, they cannot seem to get to the 25's door. They are just actually doing that now, but they haven't really been able to make a complete pass very often and get side by side on a recurring basis to the outside of David Anderson. So perhaps a little bit of work to be done there on the outside, but they are doing their best off of turn number 2. And you can see behind this, we have about 12 cars that have gone single file.
Yeah, a little bit of a second pack forming. I don't know if they're just trying to stay out of the, if there's a wreck where they won't get caught up in it, but from about 16th on back or so, They've fallen back.
And that is Tyler Meeks and company behind them. But again, we have a stage break, so as long as they can stay in the lead draft and avoid wrecks, they are doing exactly what they need to do for the second half of the race. But you want to be up there and get these points, especially if you are a driver that is in need of those points to get into the next round. But here comes Servant. He has the run to the outside of David Anderson with the push from Mark Vega. And we're side by side in one.
The 92 Grissa it seems like he just can't get to the back bumper of the 14 of Vega. If he could, which now looks like he might be getting pretty close, if he does that, these guys will definitely have the advantage.
Grissa down the back straightaway, as you said, Evan. Now he's just getting to the back bumper. A little bit of a push to Vega. Remember these Xfinity machines and their dreaded bumper hook. You can't get to the back bumper in the turns. You have to give him space, and he does just that. And I think he might have given too much space, and he's losing a ton of time, and that will stall them out.
Servant side drafting now, turn 4 down the front stretch and going through the tribal now. It looks like he might have the advantage at the line. It's going to be really close. We'll see who gets it. I think it's Servant.
Servant will get it, but he will not have enough to clear, so he will be stuck on the outside with Vega still in company, going through turn number 1 and 2 at the moment.
See 2 cars up in the 3rd lane back there.
That's Justin Levine in the 4.
3 cars now.
Justin Levine in the 4, and I cannot see who it was behind him, but that lane has already fizzled out. Actually, no, it has not. They're still trying to make it work back there.
Levine, Meeks, and I'm trying to see that is in front of Meeks, PJ O'Leary, and Meeks in the wall a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. And, Levine does have to pull back into line right now. Looks like he doesn't have the company he usually has. Remember the 00, Dwayne Cooper is Mr. 3 wide in the top groove. He's not here, so someone else is going to have to initiate that line, and no one wants to help Levine as he gives a push to Artie Peterson in the 1, with nowhere to go with that run.
Outside lane, once again dropping back. They're now just barely even with the 25 of Gale. Turn after number 2 now.
Yeah, it seems this is where the gap is being stuck right now on the 25 of Gale. Anderson's been able to kind of block both ends of the highway for the most part, but it looks like Servant may have a little bit better of a run down the back straightaway this time, but he will lose it most likely through the center of the turn. Anderson kind of pushes up the track about 3 or 4 feet. That washed Servant up just a little bit. 25 kind of washing up, but as you said, Evan, the 92 is so far off the 14's back bumper.
Yeah, but the 3 of Paul Servant was able to hold even through the center of 3 and 4 and side draft a little bit, so he's going to have a really good shot at leading this lap. David Anderson got it by 0.02 of a second.
That is the difference. That is the difference at Talladega. Sometimes you will have it by the absolute most small margin there, but Anderson did get it as we go down the back straightaway. Servant seems to be wound up with the push from the 14 again. He has a better run, gets a little bit squirrely. I think there was a little bit of a bump draft on the back straightaway, and we'll enter turn number 3.
Losing ground through the center of 3 and 4. The 14 of Mark Vega way out the back bumper of Servant now turn number 4. Anderson on the inside lane has the run.
Daniel Holloway in the 26, I do believe. Is he trying to pull out 3 wide? Yes, he is. They have Rick Sabrands in the middle, the help from the 99 machine of Tom Lamar, trying to get that 3rd lane working, but it was very short-lived.
Yeah, all the way back to the middle, now back to the 3rd lane. He's not quite sure what he wants to do. Now back down to the middle with Labar.
There are some drivers in the pack that have the initiative and want to make something happen. It just does not seem like there's enough people that are ready at least to do that at the moment, but there is some 3 wide going on still. Artie Peterson in the middle, I do believe, middle of the pack.
So we're about halfway through this fuel run. When do you think we'll have people coming down pit road?
Yeah, we've never seen a cloudy race here at Talladega that I can remember with the Cyber guys, so I don't know if the extra speed that we may be running will take a little bit of fuel off, but we always do see about 19 to 21 laps. But if these guys are confident that this will go green, maybe they'll pit earlier and see if they can get anything out of it that way.
We will find out, as now Anderson is clear, just barely over the 3 of Paul Servant once again. Looks like the 92 and the 14 washing up pretty high out of turn 2.
I see someone poking to the top yet again down the back straightaway, still trying to get that 3 wide ball game going, but there's about 3 cars helping up there at the moment. I see the 7 of Mark Johnson, 26 of Holloway. They're outside of Sabrands. They might actually have some momentum this time.
Looks like they're dropping back a little bit through the center of 3 and 4. Now all the way back to the inside. Or back to the middle, I guess. With help from LeVar. No, that was close right there.
That was very close, and Holloway washing up trying to get in front of Justin Levine, and that didn't work. Levine had to back off just a little bit, but still Holloway making that third groove work, and it looked like almost for a second Levine was going to push a 4 wide, but back to 3 wide formation, and Holloway drops to the back. But as we go to the front of the field, at the moment, you can see nothing really has changed, except Servant is side by side again. But here comes a huge push from Christopher Gale.
Yeah, good push from the 25 to the 44 on the inside lane. They're dead even in the 3 and 4. Now the 3 of Servant losing a little bit through the center, but doing a pretty nice job hanging in there. He should be able to get the run out of 4 down the front stretch. He has a slight run going from travel.
Yes, he does, but as you said a couple times, Evan, that outside drivers just cannot seem to get back to back to back to back. There's a lot of gap, and that will really slow down that momentum that the top groove needs, as the 92 seems to be kind of washing a little bit left and right here on the top groove.
Yeah, I don't know if he could be trying to get air, or I don't know if he's trying to get a fender to the inside of Vega.
I see another 3 wide attempt. I see a Tide car on the outside groove here trying to go for a 3 wide. That
Levine.
Tom LeVar, Justin Levine. Levine seems to be the Dwayne Cooper substitute tonight. He is going for the third groove at any cost, but so far not enough people helping him, as there's a huge checkup. You see the 7 machine of Mark Johnson diving to the bottom, and there's a pretty good gap on the inside groove right now.
Yeah, pretty good gap from the 7 to the 0-2, probably about 4 car lengths or so. Now the 2 of Seabrand's thinking about getting in there. He does feel that hole.
And also, just as a note, we have a gap in between packs right now. Art Peck in the 0-1. He is leading the second pack. That has dropped about a second off of this first pack. Whether that's intentional or not, we don't know. But remember, there's only a stage in about 10 laps, so these drivers are fighting for these valuable stage points.
Yeah, and they're on the middle line. Those drivers from Art Peck and the 3 others. I don't know why they're not running the bottom, or if they might just be trying to lose more ground in case there is a wreck. Now they're back to the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, they're close enough. Let's bring up the differential here, the battle tracker. Kind of a new purpose for it. We don't use it on this.
And they're on pit road.
Oh, there they go.
Peck and the other 2 cars that were with him.
They were about 7/10 back that we saw very quickly, but 3 of them down pit lane, and it looks like they may be associated cars, as they all seem to have very similar paint schemes. So clearly a team move. We'll see how they shake out in regards to the field once everyone else does pit, as we down the back straightaway on lap number 16, and now we are single file for at least the top 3 positions.
Yeah, I wonder if some of these guys might just be trying to get in line to come down on the pit road. I know a lot of times you want to be on the inside lane because it's really hard to pit from the outside if there's not if not everyone's coming. And there's some of the field. About half or so.
Oh, and who is that? The first car right there that was got bad out of hell entering that turn. I think it was Tyler Meeks, was it? No, it was Seth Schultz. I do not know if he made it under the speed limit there, because he was extremely quick locking the binders up. But as you said, Evan, a good chunk of the field on pit lane at the moment. As we follow the drivers that are still on the raceway at the moment, we have David Anderson in the lead. We have Chris Brown in second, Paul Servant in third, Bobby Tinch in fourth, Chris Gale in fifth. We await right now the top 11 drivers still to make pit stops.
I think most likely everyone will come down this time, and no, not everyone coming.
Anderson,
all but 5 cars.
Anderson really locking the binders down. I don't think Anderson made it.
He did.
He did?
Yeah, because pit road speed starts at the yellow cone, not the orange.
He was locking him up there. Like, he didn't seem he had any control of the car, but
he was 2 under at the line.
There you go. That is how you minimize pit stop time there. Very well done. This will leave Chris Brown, Bobby Tinch, and Paul Servant top 3 at the moment, and we have Rick Sabrans just dangling on to the end of these drivers. And then Artie Peterson is well off the back of them, but these are the 5 drivers still that need to pit.
Looks like everyone is all spread out now.
And they all need to pit, and it looks like everyone tried to, well, the two, he was going to be close on the speed limit. He was trying to catch up there because he was behind. So he really dove it in on pit entry. We'll see if he had a penalty or not, but now it's time to see how everyone does merge back onto the speedway. David Anderson, our prior leader, is on the back straightaway right now. And he has a little bit of a gap to Chris Gale in the 25, who has a little bit of a gap back to Marty Ray. I don't think we talked about Marty Ray yet tonight. And then
right behind them, there's a really big pack.
And these drivers will likely all merge together, and we will have a little bit of a stage shootout here. Remember, the stage ends on lap number 25.
So 6 laps to go in the stage right now.
It's already Peterson exiting the pits. He will not get up to speed in time to hang with this pack, most likely. But here comes the second little mini pack. They are catching Anderson and Gale, and they will eat them alive. But there are a couple drivers still ahead of this. Paul Servant, Bobby Titch, and Rick Sabrans. They have about 2 seconds before they get swallowed up by what is now a huge pack.
Yeah, that's about 5 cars or so in this lead, or I guess the second pack. So they will definitely be able to catch those top 3.
Oh, and they are shuffling there amongst that second pack as there's a lot of different speed differentials as drivers are sucking up and getting drafts on each other. They all seem to be navigating just fine, and Marty Ray will be leading the train to catch Servant, Tinch, and Sabrans.
And now that's about a 14-car pack.
So right now, obviously, Paul Servant is in the preliminary position to get the stage, but he knows that he is going to be potentially a sitting duck in about a lap and a half when he gets the company of Marty Ray and all of his followers there behind him. But they are starting.
Anderson and Gale are moving up to the outside, trying to get around Levine and Ray.
And that's going to make it even more interesting at about probably half a lap once the top 3 is swallowed up by these drivers. Oop, Levine, a little bit of contact, gets loose in the tri-oval. Everyone scattering behind him carries on just fine.
They will catch those top 3 most likely on the backstretch, and we'll see what they do.
You can see here off the back bumper of Rick Sabrans exiting turn number 2. You can visually see how quickly Marty Ray is closing on it, but now Justin Levine goes to the top of Marty Ray. And this is going to make it very interesting. They're going to have to force a 3 wide at the very least, the way they are racing.
Oh,
44.
Contact.
44 got hit the 4 of Levine. Levine sideways. We have a wreck in turn number 3. This should end the stage. 25 sideways, but
everyone kept it going.
Yeah, I don't.
But the yellow did come out.
We'll go back here on PTR replay. I'll tell you, as you said, Evan, everyone did a good job of saving that as best they could, but
Anderson just got into the back of Avina's, pushed him into the corner, and it just got him sideways. Just a bumper hook.
On board with Levine, the rear bumper cam on Levine, and you could just see entering the turn, he just got a little bit of a hook, and that's all it takes. He's sideways. He hit the 7 machine. The 25 got turned. A couple drivers get some damage. The 14 of Vega, but then everyone straightened out. So maybe a little bit of bent sheet metal on some cars, but nothing that is catastrophic by any means. That'll put us under caution here, on lap number 22, and
this will be the stage.
I was just gonna ask that. So this will be the stage. The stage, remember, would be on lap number 25. We would end up going green most likely on lap number 26, 27. So we will give Paul Servant the stage win here tonight. And just to reference where he is in the standings right now, he is leading. So this will just be more icing on the cake for him to carry over into the next round.
Yeah, and Daniel Holloway, who would be the next driver, he's back in 5th, so Servant's going to get a pretty good lead on him just from this.
Trying to see if there's anybody in the top 10 right now that will benefit from this that is out of the championship contention, but I don't actually see anybody that would fit that criteria right now. So here comes everyone down pit lane.
I don't see anyone staying out that is currently on the lead lap. Actually looks like Chris Brown staying out in the 16.
Yes, he is. Him and who's that one other driver?
PJ O'Leary is, but he's not on the lead lap. He's now getting his lap back.
Yeah, he will be a wave-around driver, and I don't know if he has any teammates because he will have about 6 to 8 laps less fuel on his, remaining in his vehicle once we go back green. So he will need someone to pit with him early, or else wait for a yellow flag or hope for a yellow flag. But we have a little bit of time here under yellow flag, so we will step away for the first side-by-side commercial of the race. We will be right back with you for the restart, so stay with us.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, you know, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, you know, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinsler. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
Welcome back, everybody, to PTR TV's coverage of the Cyber Racing Association final race in the Fast 15 here at Talladega Super Speedway. Marty Ray currently leading now. Paul Servant in second.
Just had a caution flag that kind of threw out a little bit earlier of a stage, but we are calling that for that caution we just had. We are calling that the stage, so Paul Servant was the one who got that, but I think Marty Ray got the race off pit road. So as Evan said, he is the leader. Servant to the outside, and then we have Mark Johnson inside of row 2, and to the outside of row 2 is Bobby Tinch.
David Anderson did go to the rear of the field before causing that caution. He's had a really good car so far tonight, so he should be able to get back up to the front, I think.
If it's going to take a little bit of help from the other drivers, because remember, Evan, we only had 2x2 race, and no one wanted to go 3 wide, so it's going to take a little bit of interesting moves to get him back up there, but the pace car has pulled into pit lane, and we're about 1,000 feet away from getting stage 2 underway. Marty Ray waiting for the call, waiting for the green flag at the end of the tri-oval here. And green flag back in the air, stage 2 underway.
Outside lane got a really good start. The 3 Paul Servant, I think he may have led that lap. He did. But the inside lane has more help stacked up.
Bobby Tinch just now getting to the back bumper of Servant through the center of 1 and 2, but as you said, Evan, the inside has the momentum, and they usually have the run on the restart, so they should get the advantage off turn number 2.
Ray is clear, really slide up in front of the 3 of Paul Servant. No, the Servant is already on his right side. They're going to really good run down the back stretch. They're going to have a slight advantage going into turn 3.
Marty Ray had a little bit of a chance to block the outside if he chose to. He did not choose to do so, and that gave Servant the run to the outside. And he actually has really good position at the moment off the outside groove at turns number 3 and 4. And here comes Bobby Tinch giving him a little bit of a push.
Daniel Holloway was down on the apron. He's back in the line now, but the 65 of Ray through the tri-oval is gaining on Servant. It's been close to see who leads this lap. I think Ray got it. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. And you can see the gap on the outside groove at the moment between the number 102 of Tyler Meeks and the next car on the outside groove. That's Artie Peterson, but that is almost a half second to a second behind.
The outside lane is doing a pretty good job, though. Now is the 02 of... I'm not sure who that is. The 02 of Hager up to the outside lane. So now 4 cars up there.
Yeah, Rick Sabranza has some pretty good track position now. He's now in the 3rd car on the inside groove. Jonathan Grissop also on the inside groove right now. And here comes a 20-car Pondo Co, that yellow and black machine. He has a head of steam as he's on a suck-up lap in between these 2 packs.
Marty Ray has cleared the outside lane as the outside is starting to fall apart now. The 2 of Seabrands is just about clear.
Yeah, Servant dropping back to the likes of Rick Sabrands, the 3rd car in lane right now, and Rick Sabrands.
Sabrands. I don't know if that was intentional, but it looked like he got a bit loose, just a sudden movement, I guess.
I think he was indecisive, and at the last second he said, nope, I'm going for it. I'm going to block Servant's run. He did just that, and unfortunately there wasn't much of a run to get. They're just now getting some steam built up down the back straightaway to turn number 3.
It's going to be side by side for the lead going into turn number 3 and 4. Now starting to lose a little bit. They should get run out of 4 from the 3 of Paul Servant, pushing the 2 out of Seabrands.
92 of Grissop there kind of got on the yellow line there, lost a little bit of momentum through the center of the turn, lost a little sideways, but he carries on and moves straight to the top of the track in front of Bobby Tinch.
He's into the 3rd lane now.
Is he getting out of the way, or is he making a move? I think he's getting out of the way.
And now the 2 of Seabrands is clear, but he's staying up in the outside lane. Now he's dropping down. 3 of Paul Servant all alone up there.
Marty Ray to behind Rick Sabrands on the inside groove. We have some 3 wide as Grissop still on the outside by himself. Pondo Co is going up there, but I think Grissop just wants to drop to the back, but up front, Sabrands.
02 taking it 3 wide almost below the line.
Very gutsy move. Cruz on the apron, was it? Was that Hager? I'm not sure if that move's going to pass officials. He was below the yellow line, but he is in extremely good track position from it.
Looking on the replay, it looks like the 65 did leave a gap, and then he tried to push him down there a little bit.
Yeah, so if you get forced down there, you're in the green, but if you make the move without reason to, then you will be penalized, so we'll see if that stands. But regardless, the 0-2 in a really good position here. He's bumper.
He's on the apron again.
He's straddling the apron. He's nearly hooking this 2 car. He has to really watch out for that bumper hook.
Outside lane really starting to drop back as the 0-2 Hager is looking up there.
At 0-2.
7 was going to be on the inside of Hager now.
7 to the inside. Mark Johnson forces a hole underneath Hager in turn number 3 and 4. Now Hager to the outside groove. Marty Ray pushing him, trying to get that outside wound back up, and they're doing just that off turn number 4.
I don't think Ray's very happy with Hager. He gave him a pretty heavy bump there, which he's about to upset the 0-2.
Remember how dangerous that is? Save, he saved it. Marty Ray, Talladega style bump and run, telling the 0-2, I'm not happy with what you're doing. We're shoving you to the back of this pack.
Yeah, Ray was not happy with the 0-2 forcing his way down underneath him.
I mean, he got himself some good track position, but that's not going to get you some rapport with the guys here in the league. If you need the help, you got to kind of race per etiquette. I think he was pushing the boundaries of it there.
But now the 65 of Ray has a little bit of front end damage.
Yeah, that's going to hurt him leading packs. He'll be just fine, but leading a pack, he's not going to have the aerodynamic, speed. Yeah,
the aerodynamic arrow.
Yeah, that he's not going to have what he needs there. Obviously, he's going to have a little extra drag that'll slow him down, but Paul Servant giving him a good push. He may be able to overcome it.
They're going to be dead even at the line and going into turn number 1.
Somebody has lost the draft at the moment.
Is that the... I'm not sure who that is.
He's someone all the way in the middle of nowhere land right now, but I think that's
Caleb Thompson.
Yeah, Caleb Thompson and a couple drivers, PG O'Leary and Chris Gale. Chris Gale, who was up front, has dropped all the way in the back, but he had some damage into it. But we're up front now yet again, watching the battle. Marty Ray getting the push from Paul Servant, and Rick Sabrans getting the push from the 7 of Mark Johnson here off turn 4. We're about to take lap number 33. We've already eclipsed halfway.
Yeah, just past halfway here at Talladega Super Speedway.
And we will be having one more pit stop in the race. That'll probably be in about 8 to 9 laps. And Evan, that's actually going to put us in a very close position to make the end of this race.
It's going to be, I think they should be fine to make it to the end of the race, but what's going to be close is get enough fuel that if we do go into overtime.
Yeah, these drivers have already run 11 laps since their last pit stop, so we're counting for some yellows. We'll be pitting probably around that 42, 43, which will, as you said, give us just enough to make the end, but not enough to make a green-white checker, but we'll have to cross.
Outside lane getting stacked up. The 7 is now moving up there. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, by all means, Evan, as we come off turn number 4. First time today that Mark Johnson's been in the position to lead this race. We'll see if he can get it at the stripe.
Looks like he will lead this lap. Yes, he does.
As he drops.
Oh, 92 going down below the apron, hard in the inside wall.
That is Jonathan Grissup, and he's off the racing service. We do not have a caution. We'll see if it is thrown by administrators. It doesn't seem to be at the moment.
The 92 and the 02 went down there.
On GTR replay right now, the 92 below the yellow line off turn number 4. And then he goes through the tri-oval, and
02 goes below the apron and just...
That is why Marty Ray was not a happy camper, because that was a completely forced move there, and unfortunately for the 92, he's going to need a caution or he's out of this race.
Yeah, there was no gap there for the 02 to try and get under him.
But we're live yet again, and Rick Sabrans now leading this race in the number 2 machine with the push from Mark Johnson in the 7. Marty Ray leading the outside with the 102 of Tyler Meeks. Then we have some 3 wide, Pondo Coe and David Anderson all the way up top.
David Anderson restarted in the back of the pack, so he's trying to work his way up to the front. Him and Coe both have really fast race cars here tonight, per usual.
But the 3x3 seems to be a thing now, at least with those 2 drivers, Coe and Anderson all the way up top. I don't see anybody else making a move for it. Pretty good gap in between Meeks and Ray on the outside groove.
Now the Ford Levine up in front of the 102 of Meeks, giving a push to the 65 of Ray there in the middle lane.
Yes.
So now the third group is starting to drop way back.
Justin Levine, he's been in mid-late pack trying to make moves. No one wanted to go with him, but this is the best position he's had so far. He's on that outside groove behind Marty Ray. Daniel Holloway kind of washed up just a little bit in the center of the turn, but we carry on, and Marty Ray has some pretty decent position working right now.
Yeah, a lot of cars up there in the middle lane now, and if you look into the third lane, I'm not sure who that is, the 103 of Schultz looking to the third groove. No one up there with him now.
01 Art Peck is all the way at the back of the top line, but they are the ones that are trying to make it work right now. They're going to have a lot of work to do to get anywhere with it, and they're going to need some help, but no one's seeming to want to do that at the moment.
Yeah, the 01 at Peck is just kind of in between drafts because he's not in the middle lane draft, he's not in the top lane draft. And now he's going down to the bottom lane on the inside of 103.
On board Justin Levine here up front, Evan in the 5th position. He is the one pushing Marty Ray, and he gave a really good run there by Marty Ray on the outside groove, and he's going to get side by side with your leader down the back straightaway. If anything, he has a little bit of an edge.
The 02 of J.R. Hager has been parked for this race.
Not a surprise, to be honest, with the way he was racing. He was racing very aggressively, making moves, and unfortunately didn't pass by with officials, so he has been removed from the races. Daniel Holloway goes to the third lane.
And now the 102 of Meeks trying to get up there in front of him. Coming through the tri-oval.
Yeah, Meeks has got the position. He did move in front of Holloway. Now we have 4 drivers working the third lane here at the moment. We'll see if Levine and Ray decide to move up and try to steal that momentum. Now we have 6 drivers up top.
Third lane trying their best to get up there to the lead pack. Now only 3 cars up there in the third lane.
Yeah, it seems it takes a lot. It takes some perseverance to get it wound up to make it work. It doesn't seem like anyone wants to do that. Holloway tries to cut off the 16 of Brown. He does do so. It caused a little bit of a check up there from Brown, but everyone does carry on.
The 7 of Johnson up to the second groove, leading it now, and he will have the lead of the race at the line with the push from the 3 of Paul Servant, who might also be clear.
There's a little bit of a hook there, a little bit of a tap from the 3 to the 7. The 7 got loose, but he did hang on to it, drops to the inside lane for the lead, and here comes Servant with the push from Marty Ray on the outside, and there is the slow car, Jonathan Grissop, right in front of these drivers.
Grissop goes down to the apron, just lets everyone go by. And now it looks like the 3 of Servant has a really good run down the back stretch and just about clear the 7. And now the 2 of Branson come the 7, a really good push.
Yeah, they do not have them cleared quite yet, but there is pretty good position there for just 2 drivers running the top groove through 3 and 4. It's kind of a 2-on-2 battle up front, and then we have the 6-6 of Bobby Tinch, who's just closing to the inside on behind Bobby Tinch.
3 of Paul Servant once again almost clear of the 7, but not quite at the line. He will get the lap led. Going down into turn number 1, still not clear.
And Evan,
7 Johnson front and back.
And Evan, we are pretty much in the window for pit stops at any time now. We've run about 18 laps or so since the last caution, since the last pit stop, so you should see drivers coming to pit road, but in this double file, that may be dangerous.
Yeah, now 20 laps to go, so maybe run 1 more and then just kind of split it up, run 19 laps. Because we've got 18 so far. We'll see what everyone decides to do.
Yeah, well, I would expect the inside lane to come first naturally because they have obviously the easier opportunity to do so, but see if anyone takes the break off turn number 4. Does not look like it this time by. We carry on, and Paul Servant has the lead. Will he drop to the bottom? Yes, he will.
I don't know if any of these drivers are trying to go as long as they can so they can be in a better position for if there is overtime.
That is very true, Evan. They may need a couple extra laps to push it all the way to the end to guarantee you that extra lap 63, which is the maximum the race will carry on. But off of turn number 2 rather, Marty Ray, he was clear first, a split second, but Levine still giving him the push, but here comes Servant on the bottom.
65 Ray down to the bottom lane. Now the 4 Levine leading the outside lane with push from the 20 of Co. Ray moving up a little bit. I don't know if he's trying to block or just got tight.
Will anyone break this time by? Yes, they will. We have some takers.
Ray, Johnson, Holloway. The 16 of Brown is not going to make pit road.
No, he did not, Evan. He stayed on the racetrack to avoid penalty, but obviously he is completely off the pace as we are still 3 wide amongst those drivers up front who have yet to pit.
20 of Coe, the 44 of Anderson, and the 102 of Meeks. All up in there in the outside lane. The 103 of Schultz, actually.
So I'm not sure who's going to pit out of this pack, but they have merged back to double file formation as Jimmy Coleman, I believe, in the 48 takes to the top groove, so that must intend that he's not pitting this time by.
It looks like Paul Servant will be coming down pit road this time.
You can see Paul Servant and a couple other drivers.
4 drivers, it looks like, coming down pit road.
99 Labar came in like a bat out of hell there, trying to gain some time. He did just that, as long as he didn't get a penalty. That was
Looks like he did make speed.
So that was a very good job by Labar to cut some time off and dig into that gap. But up front, Sabrans, Coe, Anderson, and Tinch still up on the speedway right now, as is Seth Schultz.
Swiss Brands a little bit of advantage going down the back straightaway. The 103 of Schultz now to the inside lane, helping out the 66 and the 2.
And we'd have to imagine they will be coming this time by. I cannot imagine more than 1 more lap available of fuel left in these vehicles, but we will see off turn number 4. And
Anderson and Coe are backing off. Looks like they're going to be coming down to the inside lane. Yes, they are. And here's the rest of the field.
Sabrans locks him up pretty big. Here comes Coleman. Here comes the 01 of Art Peck, 05 of Mike Major in pit lane, and that wraps it up. So we will see how these drivers are able to merge into the rest of the pack. Sabrans, not a very good pit entry there. Sabrans has to back up and realign in his stall. That's going to kill him.
And so does Coe.
Other pack of cars right now, Marty Ray leading them, are coming off of turn number 4 at the moment. We now have this set of drivers, including David Anderson, who are just merging out of the pit lane, entering turn number 1. They are going to have no chance. Seth Schultz is the leader of the pit clan, if you will, and I think he will merge just fine, but everybody else is going to be extremely separated.
Yeah, there's a 4-car lead pack right now, and they're going to be coming up on the 103, so I don't even know if he will be able to hang on to the back.
Yeah, it's depending how much speed they have when they catch him and how much speed he's able to gain in the draft while they're there, he may get swallowed up as well. As let's see, I think that's actually going to happen.
Yeah, he's going to fall back to his Servant, and I believe that's Servant, Tinch, and someone else.
Yeah, you can see here the speed differential between them is just way too great. He is not going to have a chance to stay on, and
he's not even going to get with this pack, I don't think. He might be able to get with this one.
So I think he has enough speed right now. He's up to 192. He should be able to stay with these drivers, but now can Servant and company get to the back bumper of Meeks? I'd have to imagine they can.
Yeah, I believe they are in draft range of them, and now they're going to have, it's going to be a 4 versus 4.
So right now, the difference between Meeks and Servant on the speedway is a half of a second. So I'll take back what I said. I thought the differential was going to be a lot greater, but it seems that we are going to have an 8-car breakaway for the win. We have David Anderson and Jimmy Coleman, who have lost the lead pack, but there's 3 drivers behind them. Art Peck, Mike Major, and Mark Vega. Maybe those 5 cars can get to the leaders.
And now the second pack is going for the lead. They're on the outside of Daniel Holloway currently. Then looks at the 7 of Mark Johnson is thinking about going up to the second groove. He's not quite going up yet.
And here comes Daniel Holloway
and Johnson. It's now 6 versus 2.
Everyone trying to leave Marty Ray out on the bottom. Now Vega is clear. I'm sorry, Johnson is clear rather, but
it's Johnson Holloway.
They will clear to the bottom, leaving Servant and Levine and Labar on the top groove, as well as Seth Schultz. So
Paul Servant had to check up, and now the 2016 Holloway up to the second groove, trying to get around the 7 of Johnson.
A little bit of a checkup there on the inside about Tyler Meeks. Not sure what happened, but there was a checkup that gave the outside a run, and now Holloway, Servin almost doored the 7 there, almost a little bit of contact entering turn number 1, but as we exit turn number 2, Holloway is now your race leader.
Yeah, 13 laps to go here tonight. Think we'll see another caution?
I don't know, Evan. This has been an extremely clean race. We only had 1 caution. That was, well, actually, it was due to a wreck, but we would have 1 caution in the race regardless because of the stage. So, I mean, really, it's been nearly a perfect race. This is when the racing is going to get the most intense at the very end, and I think, Evan, that we are going to have a bigger pack than we may have anticipated. David Anderson, Jimmy Coleman, Art Peck, and Mike Major, they're catching these guys.
Yeah, they're running about 6/10 or so a second quicker, actually more like 8/10.
Last time,
tail end at the back.
Last time around the speedway, a 48.5 for Schultz and a 47.7 for Anderson, leading that second pack. The gap only a half second. When Anderson gets there, they are going to have a run.
Yeah, and will they go 3 wide, or will they kind of split up and try and find a lane to help?
That's a very good question, and if I was in that situation, I mean, I don't even know what answer I would do, so we'll have to find out together here at PTR TV as the race is coming to a close. Nearly 10 laps to go in the race. We're side by side, Holloway and Servin up front, but it's going to be interesting once David Anderson gets there in about maybe half a lap's time.
Corey, I know you would go 3 wide.
I would go 3 wide.
But now Paul Servin is clear, and the Ford Ravine might be as well. They both are clear. Servant's staying down there.
Levine was not clear, and if he wasn't clear for long enough. He will have to give up and be stuck on the outside as his pal Servant has dropped to the bottom.
Here's Holloway.
Mark Vega, I keep wanting to say Vega, Mark Johnson on the apron. I wonder if he's just falling to the back of this. So Vega, I'll say Johnson. Where is Vega on the track right now? I don't know. Vega's all the way back in 13th position by himself right now, so try to replace that in my head. But up front, we still have Levine and Holloway leading the pack as they pass, who is that? Jonathan Grissop and the 25 of Christopher Gale. Both of those drivers were up front earlier in the race, but circumstances have brought them now a lap down. For those that are watching this race, our commentator that is with me tonight is Evan Black.
They're talking about who won last week, Corey.
And they didn't know who you were. So Evan Black.
Of course, is Dwayne Cooper that didn't know who it was.
But up front now, we have gotten into the 10 lap to go window, and Daniel Holloway up front. I don't recall Holloway winning a race this season, so I wonder if he could pull that off here, but he's going to have some pretty stiff competition and a lot of time to have to hang on up front. Justin Levine and Tom Labar trying to get that top line working at the moment.
Yeah, 9 laps to go here at Talladega. Ford Levine trying to side draft on the 26 of Holloway. A lot more cars on the outside lane than there are on the inside. Now they're coming up on the 16 of Chris Brown. He's up in the 3rd lane, just letting everyone go by.
Remember, Chris Brown missed the pits on the first time by on his pit stop and dropped to the back, obviously because he was by himself at a slower pace. So Brown out of the race, but right now Justin Levine still working with the push from Tom Labar, and now we have a 3rd lane. Looks like Schultz trying to go to the top, but he doesn't have anyone working with him. David Anderson will fill that gap.
Yeah, looks like there's Tom Labar up in front of Schultz now, as well as Meeks. So 3 cars up there in the 3rd lane.
This is what we like to see at Talladega, folks. We have an exciting race in the Fast 15 Eliminator on PTR TV for the Cyber Racing Association. We are within 10 laps to go, and we are about to see a hell of a finish here tonight. Daniel Holloway is the leader, but we're 3 by 3 for second.
And now they're 3 by 3 for the lead as the 99 of Labar is up there side by side with the 4. He was side by side with the 4, now with the 44.
Now just
3rd lane dropping back.
3rd lane dropping back, but Justin Levine is where he needs to be with the push from David Anderson on the outside groove. Anderson a little bit squirrely off of turn number 4, but Levine does have the edge. But here comes the inside with with Anderson, with Holloway and Servin. I'm getting too excited here. Tom Labar up top.
Yeah, once again the 1-2 with Meeks up there in the 3rd lane, and they're getting a pretty good run. They're side by side with this 2nd row.
And we will have a slower car that is going to be in the mix, and this is going to be interesting as we're 3 wide and we have a slower car. I hope he goes to the apron. That's Pondo Co. 3 by 3 for the lead here at Talladega.
The 99 and up in that third group has the slight advantage over everyone else. 26 of Holloway got really loose into turn 3. And Co is going down to the apron.
Yes, he is, and that is obviously the gentleman move to make. I think it's actually the rule at this point in the race to make, but here comes Justin Levine. I think he was cleared just for a split second. That moment is already over. Levine back to the bottom, and can Tom Labar get back to the top?
Now 4 cars up there in that third lane, still led by Labar. Going into turn number 1, they're side by side with the second row.
Normally the iRacing cutoff lap would be 5 to go where we'd see the race come to an end, but remember we have a green-white checker in case this does go sour. We do have a green-white checker finish built in. Hopefully we don't need it. I don't think we will, but we're 3 by 3 for the lead. There'll be 5 laps to go this time by.
Outside lane got a huge run. They do have a slight advantage for the lead now, losing it now. The 26 of Holloway is clear. I don't know if he'll try and do any blocking or not. We will see. It's not look like it.
And again, David Anderson, one of the best racers in this league, is now pushing Justin Levine on the outside groove, and he is doing a good job. But the surge on the inside was what prevailed last time by, giving the lead to Holloway by mere hundredths of a second.
Yeah, third lane dropping back now. The 99 of Labar is the only car up there. Looks like he will drop down. So Evan Levine has a huge run down the backstretch.
So Evan Black,
clear.
Evan Black, this is the time in the race we do it. Who's your pick?
Anderson.
I'm going to go with Paul Servant in that number 3 machine. We'll see. Type your picks in chat here. Who do you think's going to get it? This race is winding down. Be 4 laps to go this time by, and I'll tell you, here comes the 4 with a heck of a run off of turn number 4.
I like how neither of us picked the 2 guys who are leading these lanes. We both picked the second guys in the lane.
We've seen some crazy finishes here in Cyber Racing Association. I think we're ready just for another one tonight, so you never know how these will turn out. But at the moment, your first row is Daniel Holloway and Justin Levine, and we'll have to see what these drivers do behind them.
3 of Paul Servant giving a huge push to the 26 of Holloway.
Yes, he is, and I'll tell you, Anderson has dropped back just a little bit off the bumper of Levine. You can see some damage to Levine's number 4 machine on the left front. I wonder if that's slowing down. But here comes Paul Servant to the outside group, trying to get the push from the 4 of Levine, and he will do so. And this is going to be a good run. He should be able to clear. I'm actually not sure. Is he going to drop to the bottom? Not at the moment.
He's kind of in the middle. 4 of Levine looking to that side. Now he has to go down to the bottom in front of the 26 of Holloway.
And now Justin Levine still has the push from the 44. Daniel Holloway all over the back bumper of the 3. He needs to be careful for a bumper. Washes up the track just a little bit off turn number 2.
And the outside lane get a huge, or it was huge, now it's just a pretty good run down the backstretch. They're going to have a slight advantage going into turn 3 for Levine with the push from the 44 of Anderson.
But Paul Servant is making that inside line work on that number 3 machine, and I think he may have the ponies to hold him off, but we will have to see what kind of runs do prevail. Daniel Holloway is behind, but he is stuck. Here comes Anderson giving the push to Levine, still on that outside groove. We have the 7 of Mark Johnson trying to help Anderson out. Jimmy Coleman's worked himself up there as well.
7 and Coleman are looking to the 3rd lane, thinking about going up there. Still staying in line 4 now.
They haven't got there yet. Oh, here comes Holloway cutting off the 4 machine of Levine, trying to go to the top of Paul Servant down the back straightaway. He has a run.
26 of Holloway dead even down the backstretch. Now is a slight advantage, getting ready to go into turn 3. He should be clear. He is just barely clear, but he's staying up there with the 4 of Levine. And Holloway is now not clear.
We will wait for the call from Evan Black. He has the call from race control. When we get the white flag, it very well should be this time by, but we will wait for the call from race control off turn number 4.
This is the white flag, confirmed. Now the 4 of Levine.
Levine.
What's going on with him?
Levine is, I don't know if he lost the draft. There's something wrong with that machine, but he's now out of it. Paul Servant is in a very good position here, but Marty Ray, Tom Labar behind him, and just David Holloway trying to get that outside, Daniel Holloway trying to get that outside lane working off turn number 2. Single file for the first 3 cars.
Now the 99 level bar up there in the second groove. Push from Holloway coming to the checkered flag.
We're in turns number 3 and 4, and Tom Labar has not been up front all race, but he's up front when it matters. He has the push from Daniel Holloway through turns 3 and 4 outside of Marty Ray. Can he get to the outside of Paul Servant for the lead? Yes, he can. Warm up the photo finish cameras. We're going to need it. We're headed through the tri-oval for the final time. Servant to the inside. Tom Labar to the outside. Who's going to get it?
Labar's going to get it.
Tom Labar wins today's race, leading absolutely none more than 1 lap. He led the most important one, and Tom Labar is tonight's winner. Wow, that was one of the best races I think we've seen out of this league here tonight, and I am very proud of that race, very excited to call it. We will offer our congratulations to Tom Labar on his victory, and we will be right back with you for the post-race show.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track, just because it's for fun. Where the NASCAR stuff, you know, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there. Where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, I mean, as a rookie on there, you know, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. I mean, you've got thousands of drivers on there that, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it, but can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself, really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable, really, on there.
And we're back here tonight on PTR TV after we just saw probably one of the best races we've seen out of the CRA guys tonight, the Fast 15 elimination race at Talladega. And we will now start the post-race show as Evan Black will talk to your third place finisher, who is David Anderson.
No, third place is not David Anderson.
Yeah, third place is Dan.
It's Holloway.
All right, I'm looking at the wrong results here because I remember how those changed. So talk to whoever's in third place, Evan.
So Daniel Holloway, you come home with the third place finish tonight. What are your thoughts after this race?
Oh my gosh, one heck of a race there at the finish, and something happened to Justin. I thought maybe I might have a shot to win it there at the last lap, and I lost help, and man, that was one heck of a race there. That was fun.
Yeah, we saw a lot of green flag, only one wreck here tonight. Did you expect the race to go like that coming into it, or do you think there'd be more wrecks with it being the final race for the Fast 15?
I knew we were going to be aggressive because everybody's shooting for that win. Everybody's so tight, but I think tonight we did one heck of a job. Everybody did for just that one little caution beginning of the race, but it was pretty tight. It was pretty good.
All right, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
Dwayne for this league, prime time. Like watching you guys every time I get done here. Watch you guys, done a great job. Team Excalibur, Justin, Tom, good job, bud. I pushed you to the win there, so I think I got you paid back there. And Paul, good race, great race, run. I thought it was between me and him.
All right, thanks for talking with us, and again, congrats on your third place finish.
Yep, thank you.
And now we will talk to Paul Servant. All right, Paul Servant, you finished second here tonight in the Fast 15 finale, and it was, in our opinion, in the booth, one of the best races we've seen from you guys all season. What was it like from the driver's seat?
Oh man, that was an awesome race. Awesome race.
You lost it just by a mere couple thousandths there at the end. What was your thought process on that last run with the 8 drivers up front, and ultimately how it shook out on the last lap?
I was hoping we'd make it without a yellow, and we did. I mean, the guys did an awesome job. I mean, I can't congratulate them enough. You know, it was just a hell of a race.
All right, now
I'm glad Tom got it, man. That was an awesome drag race to the line, and he got it. He deserved it. He won it.
All right, that's definitely good sportsmanship there. Congratulating your fellow drivers when they win, but you finished second here tonight. You're carrying yourself into the Elite 11. What are your thoughts towards that?
Awesome. You know, doing what I do every week. You know, run up front, qualify well, and you know, just continue doing that. And you know, hopefully we keep having good races like this. I mean, that was definitely one of the best ones so far. Yeah,
we most certainly hope that those carry out as well. So who do you want to give your shout outs to tonight, man?
Everybody, the lead, you guys, the drivers, a bunch of new guys in. I mean, we have to learn them. They have to learn us. Heart's pumping here. That was an exciting, stressful race.
All right, man. Well, congrats again. We'll let you take a breather and unwind after that, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week.
10-4, man. Have a good one. Thank you.
And now, Evan Black will talk to tonight's victor, who actually is Tom LaBar.
Tom LaBar, you came out with the victory here tonight at Talladega. What are your thoughts after this race?
I did not think I had to win in car tonight. I can say that.
Yeah, we saw you be in the back for most of the race, and with about 15 laps to go, we saw you trying to work the third lane. What was it like trying to get up to the front?
It wasn't easy. I ended up, my fast repair got used. Somehow I didn't have it checked, but I came off pit road and I didn't have it, so I figured I better go to the back and just try to work my way back up through.
With around 10 to go, 5 laps to go, did you think that you would have a shot at the victory here tonight?
Not at all.
All right, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Dwayne for putting this on week after week. I really appreciate it. I enjoy it. I'd like to thank you guys for hosting it. You're broadcasting. You do a great job.
Yep, thank you for that, and thanks for talking with us, and congrats on your victory here tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and as we say most every week, we cannot unfortunately give you the final results because, as I indicated at the start of the post-race show, they're not necessarily accurate. So they will have to get calculated manually. So we will wrap up tonight's coverage with our PTR TV sponsor shoutouts. And first one on the board is Air Movement Fabrications, family-run business established in 2012. Over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, offer a wide variety of services, including ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Air Movement Fabrications is the ventilation service to trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Krutz Custom Graphics is the motorsports design specialist. And then, for our overlays, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics, coding, and theme design for the 2 main overlay systems on iRacing ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a startup company looking for your custom overlays to make your broadcast channel shine, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. You unfortunately didn't get to feature them tonight, but we also do want to give a shout out to our camera specialist, TrackCam4 Gourmets. You can check him out at facebook.com/trackcams or trackcams22.com. Talk to Esteban, and he has a good variety of tracks with amazing camera angles, so you'll be able to see those in further broadcast here on PTR TV. And of course, our Patreon. We have a couple donators on there, which are serious helps towards our broadcast here on PTR. So keep our quality high and costs low for the league owners. We need a little help from you guys, the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a patron, you will get rewards that vary depending how much you donate. So again, check that out, patreon.com/PTRTV. Well, that's another broadcast here, folks, on PTR TV. We brought you the Cyber Racing Association Monday Night Series for the Fast 15, which will soon be the Elite 11 next week. And stay tuned for tomorrow night, where we have the American Sim Racing Series, and then, of course, 2 broadcasts for the hardline racing drivers. Like and subscribe if you have not done so. Help the channel grow, help the channel get back on the iRacing Live portal with some more popular broadcasts. We need the fans in the stands to make these broadcasts shine. So signing out of the booth is Corey Silva and Evan Black. Have a great night, and we will catch you next time.
Have a good night, everyone.
Catch you next time.